Lunchtime, 1 Chronicles 29. And David the sovereign said to all the assembly, My son Shalomo, the one whom Elohim has chosen, is young and tender, and the work is great, because the palace is not for man, but for Jehovah Elohim. And with all my power I have prepared for the house of my Elohim the gold for the gold, and the silver for the silver, and the bronze for the bronze, the iron for the iron, and the wood for the wood, shoham stones and settings, and fair stones of various colors, and all kinds of precious stones and marble slabs in large quantities. And also, because I delighted in the house of my Elohim, I have treasure of gold and silver I give for the house of my Elohim, even more than all that I have prepared for the set-apart house. 3,000 talents of the gold of Ophir, and 7,000 talents of refined silver to overlay the walls of the houses. The gold for the gold, and the silver for the silver, and for all kinds of works to be done by the hands of the craftsmen. Who then is moved to fill his hand today for Jehovah? And the leaders of the fathers' houses, and the leaders of the tribes of Israel, and the commanders of thousands and of hundreds, with the heads over the sovereign's work, volunteered, and gave for the work of the house of Elohim 5,000 talents, and 10,000 darks of gold, and 10,000 talents of silver, and 18,000 talents of bronze, and 100,000 talents of iron. And those with whom were found precious stones gave them to the treasury of the house of Jehovah, into the hand of Yehiel the Gershonite. And the people rejoiced, for they had given voluntarily, because with a perfect heart they had given voluntarily to Jehovah. And David the sovereign also rejoiced greatly. And David blessed Jehovah before all the assembly. And David said, Blessed are you, Jehovah, Elohim of Israel, our Father forever and ever. Yours, O Jehovah, is the greatness, the power, and the comeliness, the preeminence and the excellency, because of all that is in the heavens and in the earth. Yours is the reign, O Jehovah, and you are exalted as head above all. And the riches and the esteem come from your presence, and you rule over all. And in your hand is power and might, and in your hand to make great and to give strength to all. And now, our Elohim, we thank you and praise your comely name. But who am I, and who are my people, that we should be able to give so voluntarily as this? For all comes from you, and we have given to you out of your hand. For we are sojourners and pilgrims before you, as were all our fathers. Our days on earth are as a shadow and without permanence. O Jehovah our Elohim, all this store that we have prepared to build you a house for your set-apart name is from your hand, and all is of you. And I know, my Elohim, that you are trying the heart and desire uprightness. As for me, in the uprightness of my heart, I have voluntarily given all these. And now, with joy, I have seen your people who are present here to give voluntarily to you. O Jehovah, Elohim of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yisrael, our fathers, guard this forever in the intent of the thoughts of the heart of your people, and prepare their heart toward you. And give my son Shalomo a perfect heart to guard your commands and your witnesses and your laws, to do all, and to build the palace for which I have prepared. And David said to all the assembly, Now bless Jehovah your Elohim. And all the assembly blessed Jehovah, Elohim of their fathers, and bowed their heads and did obeisance to Jehovah and the sovereign. And they slaughtered slaughterings to Jehovah, and offered ascending offerings to Jehovah on the next day, 1,000 bulls, 1,000 rams, 1,000 lambs, with their drink offerings, and slaughterings in large numbers for all Israel. And they ate and drank before Jehovah with great joy on that day. And they set up Shlomo, son of David, to reign the second time, and anointed him before Jehovah to be leader, and Zadok to be priest. And Shlomo sat on the throne of Jehovah as sovereign instead of David his father, and prospered, and all Israel obeyed him. And all the rulers of the mighty men, and also all the sons of sovereign David, submitted themselves to Shlomo the sovereign. And Jehovah exalted Shlomo exceedingly in the eyes of all Israel, and put upon him such royal splendor as had not been on any sovereign before him in Israel. Thus David, son of Yeshai, reigned over all Israel. And the days that he reigned over Israel was 40 years. He reigned 7 years in Hebron, and he reigned 30 years in Jerusalem. And he died in a good old age, satisfied with days, riches, and esteem. And Shlomo his son reigned in his place. In the acts of sovereign David, first and last, see, they are written in the book of Shemuel the seer, in the book of Nathan the prophet, and in the book of Gad the seer, with all his reign and his might, and the times that passed over him, and over Israel, and over all the reigns of the lands.